Things are ramping up in a major way for the Fallout TV show. We just got the news that season 2 of the show will resume filming shortly. Jonathan Nolan, one of the executive producers of the show, recently gave a talk in Dublin for Screen Ireland. During this, he said filming will resume in 4 weeks, and based off the talk's timing, that means around November 12th. This was really all based off of a Reddit post, and since there were no recordings from this talk, I did reach out to several other attendees to confirm that yes, this actually was said. Although, after doing that legwork and trying to make a video about it, we got it confirmed anyway. Because Screen Rant did an interview with the actress who plays Betty, who did confirm that filming will begin in November. And honestly, this is kind of weird. We've already seen some articles coming out saying how this is actually bad news, that season 2 may not be coming until mid-2026, which would be a brutal 2+ year wait. But personally, I disagree with that. I have some further quotes that should give you a bit more hope that Fallout could return a bit sooner. Although this filming date is still surprising. Just a couple of weeks ago, many fans were concerned that filming for season 2 wouldn't be anytime soon due to some of the quotes from Ella Purnell, aka Lucy from the show. In an interview with Discussing Film that was published 2 weeks ago on October 7th, she says,
I'm excited. I really cannot wait. I don't have anything. I don't know when we're going to do it. I don't have a script. I have literally nothing. I don't even know if I'm in it. I hope I'm in it. I think I'm in it. No, I'm probably in it. But no, I don't know anything. I'm excited. I really want to get going. I need to start practicing my accent again and getting back into the Lucy headspace.
Which does feel odd, because literally 1 week later, the executive producer was on stage saying filming was locked down 4 weeks from then. But honestly, all this does kind of check out, because it really does appear like they're trying to get Fallout Season 2 out as fast as humanly possible. So I just wrote that line as I'm making this script, but upon checking, yeah, that is quite literally what the showrunners have said. Speaking with Hollywood Reporter a couple of months ago, but we are going as fast as we possibly can, and we've got a lot of heavy lifting from Season 1 already done. We have sets, assets, visual effects that are already done. We're hitting the ground running this season. We're going pedal to the metal to get Season 2 out as fast as humanly possible. So on one hand, this is exciting. We've heard this fast turnaround line a few times now. Just a couple of months ago, even some of the Prime Video execs backed this up. I think we're ahead of schedule in terms of being able to get Season 2 back. We don't have an exact launch date yet, but we've already gotten scripts in hand, and I think the fans of Season 1 will really love where we're going for Season 2. There's quite a bit going to get Season 2 out faster as well. We've seen quotes around how some ideas from Season 1 were basically shelved to be used in Season 2, so some concepts are already written out, as well as Season 2 filming is being moved to California, which makes things go faster. I feel like this is going to be relatively smooth sailing because we have so much great desert right here in California. We're going to start scouting locations we literally can drive to from the writer's room. So while I do think it is important to keep your expectations in check, it'll still be a while before Fallout Season 2 comes out. I also don't really agree with some of these articles saying that this is likely years away. Based off all of these quotes I just highlighted for you, it really sounds to me like Season 2 filming will happen more quickly compared to Season 1, because it sounds like some stuff was already done, and Season 2 overall has a lot more going for it, to the point where I think one of the showrunners almost said that Season 2 would be out in 2025 during a recent interview. The internet has an interesting habit of making non-binding statements binding, so I'm hesitant to give a date that will be taken out of context and live on Reddit for a year or so. I think what's happening here is he was thinking about saying that, yeah, we're targeting a Season 2 in 2025, but he didn't want to actually say that because then it would live on Reddit for a year or so, and he doesn't want that, because 2025 is likely still a very optimistic timeline. But we of course do know that filming is resuming soon, and get subscribed because it'll likely mean a ton of new leaks around Season 2 of the show. And exciting as all of this would be, there is definitely a concern here with the rate at which they're producing things. Are they going too fast? Looking back at that Ella Purnell quote about knowing nothing about Season 2, and then the very next update that we got about the show was how filming was about to begin, I do wonder if the show could run into more quality issues as a result of this pace. As of right now, Fallout is shaping up to be Amazon's big new show as The Boys is going on to its final season. Prime Video obviously wants this done as fast as possible. But do you want to hear quotes like this to hear they're going as fast as humanly possible right as they're about to dive into a bunch of New Vegas lore. We'll talk more about what's to come in Season 2 a bit later in this video, but yeah, Season 2 is taking us to New Vegas, and after some giant controversies around Season 1 with what was a relatively small aspect of Season 1, it does feel like these are dangerous waters for the Fallout TV show. And then hearing they're sprinting into them does give me some pause, because the details we have for Season 2 so far definitely throw up some lore concerns. But sometimes being fast is good. Like, imagine if all of your meals were ready in 2 minutes or less. And now they can be with today's video sponsor, Factor. I've been using Factor for a while now, and let me tell you, 2-minute filet mignon tastes amazing. Factor has a ton of other gourmet plus meals, including some premium sides like broccolini to complement that steak. Keep an eye out for surf and turf meals coming soon. Factor is great because it removes all of the things I hated about eating. No more grocery stores, no more eating unhealthy fast food, and no more dishes. Because with Factor, your meal will be ready in 2 minutes or less in the microwave, and you don't even need to use a plate. And this doesn't get boring. With Factor, you'll get a giant box of meals like this delivered right to your front door each week, and there are over 35 meal options to choose from. And since you watched this video, I'll even hook you up. Get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders using my link. So click that link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone. But when it comes to what will actually be new in Season 2 of the Fallout TV show, we've already learned quite a few details about where this story is going. And yeah, spoilers, if you haven't actually watched the Fallout TV show, you should probably do so or just skip this part of the video, because like I mentioned earlier, we are headed to New Vegas.
Many of our lead characters are Vegas bound, and Las Vegas in the world of Fallout is Robert House's town. Robert House
might have something to do with it.
Will be involved in Season 2.
Our return to New Vegas was pretty clear from the ending of Season 1, and over the course of Season 1, we got quite a few teases of what's going to be happening in Vegas. During the ending credits of the final episode, we could see what seemingly happened to the Vegas Strip. There was some kind of NCR versus Securitron versus Deathclaw battle for Vegas. And it's not really clear who won or if anyone even survived. This, among other things, does basically confirm that Deathclaws are coming to the Fallout TV show in Season 2. We have questions about how did Moldaver survive. We see here pre-war, and then again several hundred years later in the post-war. During the ending credits, we could also see a Tops Casino Cryo Suites ad. So many fans have speculated that this is telling us that Moldaver survived in a Vegas cryopod, which will likely be some kind of plotline explored in Season 2. And perhaps the biggest deal of all, we of course just heard from the showrunner that Robert House will be involved in Season 2, which does make you wonder. It feels like to tell the story, we need to find out what happened in New Vegas. Yet one of Todd Howard's only asks of the Fallout showrunners was not to confirm a canon ending for the games, including Fallout New Vegas. And we did have an interesting response around this from a past interview. When asked about what this ending scene means for New Vegas, we hear, "All we really want the audience to know is that things have happened, so that there isn't an expectation that we pick the show up in Season 2 following one of the myriad canon endings that depend on your choices when you play Fallout New Vegas." So a bit of a weird response there, but to me, it makes it sound like they'll basically be vague about what happened here. And if House is involved, it'll likely be more pre-war content in the show, which honestly I'm fine with. Getting to see how House built his empire could make for some amazing television, and in Season 1, some of those pre-war scenes were my personal favorites. And just overall, Season 2 will continue to capture that overall Fallout theme. I'm really excited to continue in Season 2 is that blend of tones, that the show can have sitcom moments that are juxtaposed with people shooting each other. I think Season 1 really nailed the hilarity as the world is ending, and this makes me hopeful that we'll get plenty more of that in Season 2. And one of the interesting plot lines for Season 2 is character growth really across the board. It feels like Season 1 of the Fallout TV show really ended with all of the characters having some revelation that will heavily impact who they are to their core in Season 2. Lucy and the Ghoul are almost on opposite sides of this. The Ghoul becoming softer, more family focused, as opposed to the wasteland gunslinger only. And yeah, we don't even know where his daughter is. They'll likely pop up in Season 2 at some point. While conversely with Lucy, it really feels like in Season 1 she loses her family and her naivety is gone now. I expect a much harsher version of this character in Season 2, and the showrunners have literally said as much. What we're already into in Season 2 is exploring how far far we want to push this character. How much do we want to see her hang onto herself becomes the game of the show in its own way. But I think this all will be a lot more fun to watch. Season 1 Lucy was really the hopeful side, which gradually erodes as the show goes on. Season 2 feels like it'll be a lot more of badass Lucy who does things she didn't even realize she was capable of. I think all of us evil playthrough enjoyers should be eating good in Season 2, and it does seem like Lucy and the ghoul will be adventuring together in Season 2, which will likely have them bouncing these feelings off of one another as they each progress towards their own mean. But conversely, Maximus has gained a whole new level of insight around the Brotherhood of Steel. This is a character with anger, and it feels like in Season 2 we'll see him release that anger towards someone. Aaron Moten, the actor who plays Maximus, described the Season 1 finale as an obliteration of Optimus for Maximus. This is something that he's going to carry for the rest of the series. He seems to have some really dark paths ahead of him. Super mutants will almost certainly be in Season 2 of the Fallout TV show as well. We technically do see one super mutant on this cart at the Enclave testing facility in Season 1, but it's really just their hand. But Johnny Pemberton, Thaddeus from Season 1 of Fallout, posted this photo on Instagram a few weeks ago before deleting it. To me, it looks like he is sitting for molds for super mutant hands, and honestly, that makes a ton of sense. In Season 1, Thaddeus gets the injection from this mysterious doctor, and subsequently develops healing abilities. This very likely was the FEV virus, and we'll see Thaddeus turn into a super mutant in Season 2, which can make a big splash in the plot lines overall. Thaddeus is of course a member of the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood of Steel don't like mutants. But Maximus may be left feeling differently as he has had a bit of a reunion with Thaddeus now. I could definitely see this being a catalyst to turn Maximus away from the Brotherhood of Steel. But we might also see the Enclave. In the background of this photo, we can see a picture of what appears to be Malcolm McDowell. This was a previous voice actor for John Henry Eden, aka President of the Enclave. Following the release of the Fallout TV show, we got these stylized videos, including one about Vault-Tec's HQ, and our first day there as a manager. This is new lore, but we get to see this massive Vault-Tec HQ, get introduced to our parents, Daddy, the Vault-Tec board of directors, and Mommy, a large language model, and even Brother Tom, the office intercom. And after the video dropped, many fans immediately drew comparisons to Fallout Tactics and Vault Zero. If you're not familiar, Vault Zero is the largest vault, and this holds the cryogenically frozen brains of the smartest scientists who are all interfacing and communicating with Calculator, a giant supercomputer that is held in the vault. Collectively, the scientists and Calculator oversee all of the vaults in the wasteland. And this stylized video does kind of lay this out in exactly the same way. Vault-Tec HQ is giant, just like Vault Zero. Mommy is Calculator, and Brother Thomas is the communication to all of those vaults. Technically, John Henry Eden becomes an advanced Zax AI unit, which is different from Calculator, but this all somehow still feels relevant. It certainly feels like Season 2 will have more overt Enclave and Vault-Tec plotlines, and that is very likely where the pre-war House involvement will come in as well. But also potentially some post-war stuff. We also have the lingering questions of what happened to Cooper Howard's wife and daughter. Could they be in these Vegas cryopods? Are they in some Vault-Tec HQ or even Enclave HQ somewhere? Considering that Cooper Howard is now actively looking for his kid, it feels like this has to come up at some point in Season 2, which is definitely good because this Vault-Tec and Enclave stuff was really well done in Season 1. But we also could be getting something else relatively soon. Do you remember this Cooper Howard phone number? It popped up while he was filming an ad for Vault-Tec in Season 1 of the show. In the show, this was an ad to get a spot in a vault for yourself, and if you call this number, you'll hear screaming. But if you text the number that popped up on screen, you'll get a response from Vault-Tec about claiming a vault spot for yourself. They say the next available appointment is in 33 weeks, and you could opt in for more marketing. 33 weeks from the release of the Fallout TV show is November 27th, roughly 1 month from right now. I have no idea what this is or isn't, but hey, that day is coming up.